Thanks for joining us. You're watching All the Beer, No Idea. My name is Baz. We are heading off to Germany now, as you probably can tell from the title. And we've got a beer from one of the big six in Munich, and it's from Augustiner brau. And this is a bottle of their edelstoff export beer Hell's Lager. It's coming in at 5.6% in a 500ml bottle. Beautiful label. I love the old gold and black, and it all looks very old fashioned. We got a cracking little bottle cap there. Looks good. It's been brewed to the Reinheitsgebot, the Germany purity law, where there's only 4 ingredients in a beer. And I picked this up from Beer Merchants. £3.20 it was. Now, I don't have an Augustiner glass, so I'm going to bang it in an Iinga one. Now, while I do the pour and open the beer, I'm going to do some more waffling to try and shorten the video. So, I got this beer about, not this actual beer, but I've had it before about 4 years ago. It was way before I was doing beer reviews. It was just as I was really sort of getting into trying German lagers and craft beer. And it came in a mystery box that I got from Beerhawk all those years ago. It was something like 20 beers or something for 20 quid. They were all sort of like short dated. And I remember this beer being in there. And at the time, it blew me away. I was like, my God, if this is German lager, even though I'd had a few German lagers and what have you, but nothing to this extent, I was like, wow, that is absolutely outstanding. And I've never got around to picking it up or reviewing it. Well, going back 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, placed an order with Beer Merchants, like I said, and I thought I'd put one of them in the old order. So we are going to get a review out of it now. Hopefully it's going to be as good as I remember. So let's crack on. Beer in a glass, crystal clear, a few gentle bubbles going up in the middle, a light straw colour, I'm going to say, a light golden straw colour. We got a finger of compact white head on top. It looks, you know, you're not going to get an awful lot of difference in lagers, really. You know, if they look like this, they're doing their job. And if it's German, it's bound to do its job. So, yeah, looks decent. Let's dive in on the nose and see what we get. Like I say, it's a Hell's style lager. So we'll dive in and see if we get that sort of Hell's influence behind it. Now, probably not the best time to review this, let's say. Still full of a cold. So I'm not picking an awful lot up. It's still got that down to my nose. It's my fault, my problem. Probably shouldn't review it, but I'm still picking that German thing up in there. It's a lot lighter though, but again, that's because I'm not picking enough up. Malty, probably not as malty as it should be because of me. There is a breadiness I'm just picking up in there. Again, probably not as bready as it would be normally. I'm not really picking any sort of citrus notes up in there or any spiciness. I'm going to put that down to me because I don't believe this is going to be a bad beer. It's still going to be, I imagine it's more punchy on the nose if you haven't got a cold. I imagine it's going to be even better on the taste if you haven't got a cold. But it certainly doesn't smell nasty. It's maybe just not as punchy as I was hoping. So let's stop waffling. Dive in on Augustiner's edelstoff. And let's hope it's a banger. I'm sure it will be. Cheers. Oh, my word. Absolutely. And do you know what? Even now, it was there in the taste. And it still wouldn't surprise me if I was 100%, that would just taste even better. But that tastes banging now. Straight away, you drink that. Hell's style lager. That's got a decent body. It's got a malty bready body. Carbonation is nice and gentle. but enough to make it interesting. You do get a bit of a gush of carbonation on the back end of the mouthful. So it starts off really smooth, and then you do get that little bit of a gush on the back end, which just roughens it up a bit, but I don't think it really does it any problems. With this style of beer, I think sometimes you do need that little gush of carbonation just to waken it up a bit. It's pretty soft, taste wise. It tastes quite sweet to me, not massively over sweet. Could just be me again, harping back to the old taste buds. Malty, sweet, feels a little bit syrupy, a little bit, not massive. There's definitely the bready notes in there, and that was the first thing that I noticed when I took the first mouthful. When I gave it the thumbs up, I knew the beer was still good, even though I didn't get that breadiness maybe on the nose as much as I wanted to. It was there in the taste. So you get that, like I say, the sweet, malty, slightly syrupy breadiness. And then at the same time, I would say you get a very, very subtle sort of lemon citrus in there with that little bit of a hoppy snap to it. It's a nice little hoppy bite to this beer. Leaves it with a slightly bitter finish on the back end. But that is a banging, banging beer. Drinks like a dream. 5.6%. There's nothing to say that you're drinking anything. Pardon me. That's better. That's what I was trying to get out. There's nothing in this beer, I do apologise, to say you're drinking something strong to the extent that you think, oh God, that's overpowering. But I would say the more you drink of this, you get a little bit more feel of that 5.6%. But the beer is still really drinkable. It's still one of them. Again, it's another sort of dangerous one really, because it's got that drinkability that you could really smash this beer back and you could drink several of them. I think you could quite easily, even at 5.6%, and with the body, even though it's got a good body, it almost drinks lighter than what the body is. It's the sort of beer that you could smash back and you could drink all night, which could only end up in problems really, couldn't it? You know, if you're drinking something like that all night, you know it's never going to end too well. But yeah, I mean, it's nice and refreshing. That little spicy, hoppy bite on the back end gives it a nice crispness. Yeah, it's a banging beer. It's a banging beer. The daft thing is, I may well have to get another bottle of this. And when I'm 100% myself, as in with the you know, with my nose and my taste buds and all that lot, I might have to review it again and see if I think it's any different. I do think some of the flavours and some of the aromas may be a little bit subdued because of how I am. But if they are, it just goes to show how banging Augustiner's edelstoff is, because I'm still getting plenty from that. It still tastes like a banging lager. It's still a beer that, my God, you just wish you could pick that in a pub at £3.20, didn't you, a bottle? That'd be just like a dream, that would, because that is an absolute banging beer. So, yeah, for me, would I recommend it? If you like your German stuff, you're going to love that. If you don't like your German stuff, I'll be amazed if you don't love it. If you don't love it, if you don't like German stuff and you still don't like that one, you're off your head. You really are. So yeah, for me, edelstoff, Augustiner edelstoff, definitely worth picking up. If you've had it before, let me know what you think. Sorry for waffling on so long. Thank you all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon on another beer review. Cheers.